Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most out of touch influencer videos I've ever seen. I feel like I say that all the time, but there is constantly just a new out of touch influencer video to talk about. Okay, a few quick housekeeping things. First of all, comment down below and let me know what your drink of the day is. I have a homemade pumpkin spice latte in my cute little pumpkin cup, and no, I don't care that it's July and probably way too early for this. It is bringing me so much joy. Second of all, I apologize if you can hear the breeze or like the birds outside or anything, but also I'm not really sorry because it sounds really nice and we're having the most gorgeous, cool, breezy summer days. And lastly, I just really quickly want to say I'm working on having a new upload schedule that will hopefully be a little bit more consistent and more often. But with that, we might have some shorter videos or less like research videos. So let me know if there's any topics or things you've seen recently that you would like me to cover. And with that all out of the way, let's just get right into it. So the video in question today was posted by an influencer named Catherine Ebs, who's a New York City influencer. I put that in quotes because she moved there like basically 20 minutes ago. And ever since she moved to the city, her followers have kind of noticed a little bit of a change in her. I personally think that's a bit parasocial. I mean, we don't know the influencers that we follow. So who's to say she changed? This is probably who she's always been and how she's always been. It's just you only see such a small portion of who someone is online. But I will say I myself have also enjoyed Catherine's content in the past. More recently, it hasn't really been for me, and actually after this most recent video, I finally decided to step away and unfollow. Going into this video, not a lot of backstory that you need. Really all you need to know, I think, to understand what's happening here is that this was on 4th of July weekend in America, so obviously very big, very busy weekend. Probably tons of people were out grocery shopping. I would imagine the shelves were a little bit less stocked than they normally are. And Catherine's Sam's Club order, which we don't have a Sam's Club here, but I think it's like Costco, but owned by Walmart. Let me know if that's accurate. Her order that she placed with them online was canceled a few times. So she had to brave the pores and go to a regular small town grocery store. Here's the initial video that she posted. I actually saved this pretty much right away. It came up on my For You page because I did follow her at the time. And initially I just got the ick from this video and I was like, I can see this not going so well, and I saved it just in case.
Sam's Club canceled our order 3 different times, so we are in this teeny tiny little town in the mountains, and we're gonna try and hopefully get all of our groceries for the next 4 days. This is so small town vibes, it's not even funny. I have a feeling this is not gonna be good news. We don't even have a car? This is a simulation. Oh, shit.
Okay, right off the bat, this is a simulation. Literally what the hell are you saying? What are you talking about?
Here we go, I guess. While she's grabbing that. You do need a melon? I'm just sitting here laughing.
Like, what's so funny? This literally looks like the most normal grocery store I've ever seen. Every single grocery store in my area, vicinity, even like outside of my area looks pretty well exactly like this.
I'm just sitting here laughing. Their fruit does not look good. Like, all their fruit looks bad. I just looked at Lauren, she's like, I'm stressed.
One thing I will say when you're watching this, keep an eye kind of on the background too, at the stocked shelves. Like back there I see, it looks like a bunch of sweet potatoes. I see produce in the back behind her. They already grabbed a watermelon, big bag of grapes. So just keep that in mind throughout, just how stocked this is and just all the options that there are, which obviously for anyone normal is like, yeah, it's a grocery store, there's food, this is exactly what it looks like. But I just think that that's important to keep in mind.
I'm mad at Sam's. Sam's Club and I are not friends. Oh, they threw in a bag of suitcase. Guys, this is not good. Maybe I'll just do these.
This is not good. Like, of course, yes, some of the shelves are a little bit more picked over than others, but there's still bags and bags of potatoes. She found the sweet potatoes, like... We should just order out because this is crazy. What is so crazy about this? It is a normal grocery store. You're just shopping like everyone else has to. Not everyone's doing big, huge Sam's Club or Costco online ordering. This is just how us regular people live our lives and what we have to do every single week, sometimes multiple times a week.
Let's see any 100% beef. This is absolutely insane. Lauren and I literally just keep saying we're fucking mad at Sam's Club.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm in a simulation right now. For my 4-year-old.
I don't know why she keeps saying that. I feel like I'm in a simulation. Because you're in a regular grocery store. I can't even get in my mind, like, what this is supposed to mean.
That's fine. Here, I need some for a salad too. Okay. You're good. Okay, I'm seeing ribeye or strip. You like ribeye or strip better? This is crazy. Cream butter. I don't see any normal eggs. Oh shit. Those are ours simply because. How fresh those are. Right. Those are ours. Definitely have to hit. Beep beep. We have to hit the fruits and veggies again. How much do you hate me right now?
I mean, not a lot.
Just a little bit. I don't think I could have ever gotten Lauren drunk or high enough to be in this place right now.
Like, what is that supposed to mean? I don't think I could have gotten her drunk or high enough to be in this place. As if this is something like crazy that you really have to be out of it to experience. And it's a grocery store, a normal grocery store. And again, everywhere she shows, it's just more produce, more food, more options.
Baby, I can't get nothing. Baby, there is no plane. Oh, I didn't see that. My bad. Don't even ask. A crazy experience. An absolutely insane experience. The greatest part is that guys are there, so all we have to do is drive. I love it.
I move this cart so you can.
Holy shnikes. You could tell the lady at checkout. Now it started raining. What is happening? Literally, what is happening? Not it randomly start raining.
Jesus, it was.
What is happening to us?
Jesus, take the wheel.
I literally was like, what is going on right now? All I know is we gotta go.
We didn't get ice. We have to go to Green Mart. I gotta go in there. I gotta go shop local. We have to get ice.
It's like, we can just forget it. Pretend we forgot it. Alright, we gotta go.
So there you have it. That was the video that she initially posted that was the catalyst for all of this happening. I feel like I've kind of made my feelings clear that it rubbed me the wrong way, but it definitely just did not hit with most of her audience, with most people in general. This came up on my For You page because I did follow her at the time. And even when I first saw it, which, like I said, I followed Catherine. I liked her content. Some of it's just not really for me, but I did like her content and I followed her. And when this came across my page, when I saw it, I was just like, this is so bizarre. Like, why are you acting like it's crazy to be in a grocery store? It just was so odd. It definitely gave me the ick. I think I even commented on it saying, like, I'm so confused. This looks like a normal grocery store to me. And all the comments were saying, like, yeah, this is how the rest of us live. Like, this is what it's like to be normal. Welcome to the real world. And I mean, yeah, some of the shelves were a little bit empty. She was there on 4th of July weekend. That's like going out on Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything else. You need to expect, if you're there on a holiday, that not every single option is going to be fully stocked. But that's just to be expected anywhere. Like, I would imagine Sam's Club or Costco was probably just as crazy on that day because, hello, it's a holiday and people buy tons of food for holidays. And a ton of the comments initially were saying that this video was just so not like her, which again, I think that's a little bit parasocial just because you don't know her, and unfortunately, this probably is like her. The reason she posted this is because she didn't think anyone would take it bad, because to her, this is funny and this is just how she is. And initially, Catherine did not respond and the video was up. She just went about posting her regular content. She did have a slight follow-up in the middle of one of her other videos, just saying that it wasn't about the grocery store. It was like the situation and how crazy busy it was. But as you'll notice from the first video, she did not mention how busy it was or anything in that. It was all about the food and there not being enough options and how it was a simulation. She couldn't get her friend drunk or high enough to even be in that place.
She just ran in and she was like, no, it was so much better today. There was nobody in there. It was so calm. We should be reporting that. Right. Yeah. Right. The grocery store was not the problem. It was the situation and the amount of fucking people in that grocery store. We were like, whoa.
So yeah, that was her follow-up, just laughing, not addressing anyone's actual concern about the video, just saying it was not about the grocery store, it was the situation, it was just so busy, which, duh, it was 4th of July weekend. Again, it's like going on Christmas or Thanksgiving and then being like, holy shit, it's busy in the store. Obviously. And even when she was filming, I mean, she was filming in the whole store. It didn't even look that busy compared to what I would expect on a major holiday, first of all. And mind you, again, She now lives in New York City. And I know I said she moved there like 20 minutes ago. I was obviously joking, but she is new to New York City. She's only been there, I think, like a couple of months, maybe 6 months or something. But that is probably like what, the most busy city in all of America. And she's here shocked that this small town grocery store is a little bit busy on 4th of July. Meanwhile, she's posted videos of her going to get groceries in New York and having to stand in a lineup just to exit the store. Like, I'm talking like wait in line to leave the store. But yet this small town grocery store is so busy that it's a simulation. Whatever that means. And the grocery store, Tops Market, actually did reply in a very cute way, which I thought it was like cheeky and funny and just the right way to respond. So they did a carousel post on Instagram and it says, POV, you're entering the grocery store simulation. All the beef hot dogs you can eat, which those exact ones that say 100% beef in the corner were on the shelf directly in front of Catherine when she was like, I can't find any 100% beef. I don't know why she said it like that, but normal eggs, because she said that she couldn't find any normal eggs. Again, whatever that means. Didn't expect goldfish, starting to feel like I'm in a simulation. And then their caption says, POV, you're entering the grocery store simulation. We heard some people are surprised by what you can find at a teeny tiny grocery store in the mountains. The good news, we have over 150 stores across New York, Pennsylvania, and Vermont, and we're proud to serve communities of every size. Whether you're shopping close to home or stocking up for a mountain getaway, we've got everything you need. From fresh produce and quality meats to seafood, pantry staples, and all the best deals in town. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty cute response on their behalf. They didn't hit below the belt or go low. They just kind of took everything she said and made a little bit of a joke about it, and it was very lighthearted and cutesy. Again, it just looks very similar to any of the grocery stores that are near me, especially around here in like rural Nova Scotia. There are grocery stores I'm talking way smaller than this, probably a quarter of the size of the store that she was in, and I've never struggled there to find at least some of what I need. Maybe it's not my first choice pick of everything that I want, but there's always tons of options, and you just have to make do, especially when you are in a smaller area. Not everywhere has the infrastructure and all the options that you might be used to coming from a bigger city, but I would never in my life dream of going online, making a video mocking the store, mocking the people, belittling it, putting it down, saying, oh my god, this is crazy, this is a simulation. Like, just welcome to the real world, welcome to how other people live. Like, there are areas called food deserts where the options are so few and far between. You could be like an hour drive from any grocery store, and when you get there, it's like 3 aisles. Like, I don't know, I just can't. It's so ridiculous. Now, while the vast majority of people did agree that it was tone deaf and the video did not sit right with them, there were, of course, some people defending her, and that's fine. They're entitled to their wrong opinion. Kidding. But for real, they're allowed to feel however they want to feel, and they're allowed to not feel like she deserves to be called out. But I will say, if the vast majority thinks something's tone deaf and a very small minority thinks that it's fine, I feel like the more likelihood is that the vast majority is probably in the right there. So I saw this video, which I wanted to include because I see this type of take all the time when someone gets called out for something, and I honestly really don't like it. Now, this is no offense to this specific girl. I just hear some iteration of this take all the time.
Every single one of you making a video about Catherine Ebs, babe, it's giving jealousy. It's giving you took any chance you could get to hate on her. You would have probably left a hate comment in her comments months ago, but nobody else would have backed you up at that point. Misery loves company, and you're a hater and you're jealous. Because at the end of the day, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? This is the stupidest hate I've ever seen in my life. Y'all put people on a pedestal, and when they maybe do something that you don't like, even just a little bit, you want to rip them down. And it's disgusting human behavior. For those of you wondering, she made a video inside of, I think, an Aldi or something like that, like a small hometown grocery store, just talking shit. Like, literally just talking shit about how nasty it was, how it was like she was so cringed out, and like, was it out of touch? Probably, but literally, who cares? How is that impacting your life at all, even in the slightest bit? Like
I said, no hate to this girl. It's more so about this type of argument, which I hear all the time, not specifically her saying it, but the idea that if you call someone out, you're jealous of them is, it's honestly just kind of pathetic. Like, in no way is everyone who's calling her out jealous. In no way was everyone waiting for a moment to rip her down. Like I said, I actually really liked Catherine and her content, and I don't dislike her now. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't like her as a person. I don't even know her. If I see something and I don't like it and decide to talk about it, which is what we're all online doing. Anyone who's posting online is talking, is starting conversations. They want to interact. They want to engage about things, right? It does not mean that I'm jealous. It doesn't mean anyone's jealous just because they didn't like that content. And sometimes accountability is important whether you're jealous or not. I called out James Charles in my last video for the Spirit airline thing. Is that coming from a place of jealousy, or was it that, wow, I think that was a really pathetic and bad take and I thought it was worth talking about? Which seems more realistic here. And I will say also, like, jealousy can be a natural emotion. Like, am I jealous of people with tons of success, tons of money, who can just spend on anything they want, like Catherine, who can just go into a grocery store, fill up probably a $500 cart and complain about the lack of options? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but that doesn't mean that I was waiting for an opportunity to tear her down. I would love to have the type of success that Catherine has had online, but in no way does that mean that I would be seeking out any chance I can to tear her down, or that I would let any type of jealousy or anything get in the way. I wouldn't even call it jealousy, because the thing for me also is, like, I think that jealousy, especially over like influencers and stuff, comes from a mindset where it feels like success is finite, and like if she has success, that means I can't. Whereas if anything, I just feel like, oh, that's cool, I could do that too. Anyone could do it. I don't think that her success is my lack or anything like that. I'm definitely not like jealous in that sense. And I'm personally not jealous of her life at all. I would hate living in New York City as like a very small town, homebody, introverted type of person. I just feel like a big city is quite literally my nightmare. Like, that is just not for me. I visited New York a couple of times, loved it to visit, could never live there. And I personally much prefer a small town with the type of grocery stores that she was absolutely put off by. So different strokes for different folks. It does not mean that you're jealous at all if you call someone out. I just think the insinuation that if you ever call anyone out that you're just jealous is frankly reductive and just pretty ridiculous to me. And I'm sure, like this girl said, there are people preying on and waiting for her downfall. I don't doubt that, just because I do think there are some people who are just bitter, or they see influencers and they just hate all influencers immediately just because they're influencers. That's just kind of part of the job, I guess. It is what it is. The vast majority of people are not like that and do not care one way or the other. They just see something, and if they don't like it, they might leave a comment or they'll react to it and whatever. And they're entitled to do that. You don't get to like want all the positive comments, but then when you do something terrible, not want the negative comments. Like, if your job is based on what people think of you at the end of the day, it's not really fair to be upset when they voice that. It also kind of takes the onus off of the person who messed up and onto the audience, where it's not her fault for messing up, it's the audience's fault for caring and reacting to that. When, again, influencers, like, their entire career is built off of a relationship with their audience in some way. Yes, sometimes it does border on to parasocial, or in fact way too parasocial, but even non-parasocial influencers, their job is based on the trust of their audience liking what they recommend, their audience wanting to watch their videos, leaving comments for engagement. I don't know, I just don't think it sits right with me to say that it's somehow the audience's fault for being upset rather than Catherine's fault for causing the situation for herself. But now we're gonna get into Catherine's response, because she did make an apology. But initially, right after this video was posted, it did take her a while of being called out before she took the video down, which I personally think, and I think a lot of people agree, that that on its own spoke volumes. The fact that she left it up despite all of her audience basically calling her out, despite tons of people making videos about it. A lot of people pointed out that it seemed like she only actually took the video down after Trisha Paytas made a video referencing it. That's not to say that like she wasn't reflecting or considering what to do. Maybe I wouldn't respond right away. I really don't know. I'm not in the situation. I can't say how I would react. I'd like to think that I would come on and say like, look, I hear you. So sorry, that is not at all how I meant that to be. But I also understand, like, I'm not posting to millions of people. Catherine, I think, has like over 1 million followers. I am nowhere near that, so it's hard for me to say exactly how I would respond. And I do understand taking a little bit of time before you respond to consider your words and what you want to say. You don't want to be doing 10 different apologies trying to figure out what to say. It's better to do one and do it right. So I get taking a bit of time, but I think my initial response would be, let me just take that down, because they're right, it did not hit how I thought it would. So it being up for so long kind of felt like she didn't really care, or that she just didn't agree and that people were being ridiculous. So like I said, that was initially, so it was up for like a couple days. Currently it's July 14th, and she just posted an apology. I believe she posted this last night, so on the 13th, so about like 10 days after it happened. And we're going to watch that, and I definitely have some things to say about the apology itself.
What a week it has been. I wanted to come on because I'm not someone to not address the situation, especially at this scale. I took the week off to just like kind of be with my family while they were in town. Looking back, the video I had posted walking in the grocery store, did I 1000% have a bratty bad attitude? Yes, I was very, very, very frustrated with the day. I spent weeks to make sure that everything went to plan, and us girly pops putting all the pressure on our shoulders to make sure family birthday parties, family weekends, family trips, everything goes well. I felt like that day was just a simulation. I was like, if everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. On the flip side, watching it back through the lens of others, I am now well aware that my daily stressors were not reflecting in the video. It was just, again, just a bad attitude, bad energy. And now when I look back, I'm like, I cringe because it's like my intent versus the impact are miles and miles and miles apart. And that was just, that's not me. That's not me. That video does not reflect my own true character, my own true thoughts. I come from way, way, way less than what I have now. So I know what it's like to not be able to feed your family, going to bed hungry. And so again, that just was the furthest thing from my intention. And I'm like, when I look back, I'm like, if people...
Okay, so just pausing really quickly right there. Right off the bat, it kind of feels to me, and again, I don't know her, maybe this is just how she is. To me, this feels like she's more annoyed at having to address it than she is actually sorry. Like, her initial vibe just kind of reads as bothered that she even has to say any of this, which I don't like personally. And then her saying like us girly pops, using the word girly pop in an apology is also crazy, but us girly pops who are planning everything, like I get what she's saying there, that sometimes, especially as a woman in a family, you do feel the pressure that like every event is on your shoulders, making sure that everyone's happy, fed, cared for. It does typically just naturally fall on women, which, you know, isn't great, but that is kind of besides the point, I feel like, for this specific instance. But she says, looking back, I did have like a bratty, bad attitude, but I was frustrated by the day, and my frustrations of the day, my stressors of the day didn't show through, which, I mean, whose fault is that? You're the one that filmed, edited, and posted that video. Like, you watched it back and you were like, yeah, that's it. I'm going to post that. People are going to think this is funny. Your stress is that Sam's Club canceled your order and now you get to go to a grocery store and fill up a cart full of food where most people like can't even dream of affording that much food in one cart at one grocery store trip these days. Not one time did she ever say, wow, everything's going wrong today. Now Sam's canceled the order and we have to go to this busy store. Nothing. She was just laughing, mocking the store and saying, oh my God, this is a simulation. I feel like it's a simulation. We should just order out at this point because like this is ridiculous. What she's saying now and what was conveyed in the video really don't go together.
Were to like, I wouldn't have posted that if like that was what I knew was landing, because my eyes was the stressors of the day. Not that it's an excuse, but I hope it's something that people can understand where I was coming from. And I am just grateful for the people who have given me grace and who have been part of my community for years and know that that's not literally anything I've ever preached. So I giggle now because I'm like, again, I just have so much like cringe in me where I'm like, it's just frustrating. I do want to say,
okay, again, just really quick, her saying, I wouldn't have posted that if I knew how it was landing. Well, duh. Obviously, anyone I think who's ever been called out for anything online would probably say that hindsight's 2020, and had they known it was going to go like that, they wouldn't have posted it. I'm sure James Charles, with the airline employee, he wouldn't have posted that if he knew exactly how everyone was going to react. But that is like the furthest thing from an apology, saying, I wouldn't have posted if I knew you'd get mad. First of all, that's obvious. Yes, you would have avoided the issue had you known how it was going to go over, but that's not what people are upset about. People are upset about your terrible attitude, your out of touch, your tone deafness that's conveyed in that video, and the fact that that's actually how you felt, to the point where you posted it thinking other people would agree. And even just her saying, I giggle now, what's funny?
The bullying that's come from this has been so unbelievably eye-opening. I have seen people online get ripped to shreds before, but to personally experience it, whoa. I don't condone the bullying. I don't condone a lot of the things that have been said and done. I wish the people that took this moment for their own virality, if they meant to make such an impact and they wanted to make such an impact, I wish they would have been like, hey, let's use her name for the clout, but like, let's use it for impact. And the impact is every single person does deserve fresh produce and not bleached eggs, not rotten cucumbers. Like, everyone deserves.
I fear this is making it worse. I do agree, yes, some people were bullying her. Like, there were comments about her looks and stuff like that, which I wholeheartedly do not condone. Like, I just don't think there's any place for that, and she has given us enough to criticize without going low like that. But her being like, people using my name for virality and clout, like, maybe you could have educated about food insecurity, and maybe you could have said that everyone deserves fresh produce and non-bleached eggs, and non-rotten cucumbers. Give me a break. First of all, I know that this is not her first time in a grocery store, and I know fully well that she knows sometimes you go into the grocery store and you see some produce with a little bit of mold in it. It's fresh food. Sometimes it doesn't last as long, or it's not as shelf stable as it should be. Not to mention, she's kind of doubling down on this point that there was like no fruit or vegetables. When we've looked through the video, she grabbed a watermelon, which there were tons of. In the background of that, I saw strawberries, blueberries, raspberries in the back, tons of sweet potatoes in the background. She goes, this is not good, panning to bags and bags of potatoes. She grabs organic celery. She had a big bag of like grapes or cherries in the cart already, a bag of snap peas, bananas. Display in the background of part of the video, you can see that there's like salad kits and lettuce and all this kinds of stuff. She also said they didn't have 100% beef hot dogs, which were literally right in front of her in the clip where she said it. They definitely had regular eggs. She did pick up cucumber that I think her friend like passed back to her in the end. She was like, oh, sorry, I didn't see that. And there was like some mold on the bottom corner. That happens at any grocery store, big or small. I'm lucky to have tons of grocery stores around me. Like I said, they all pretty much look like this one. Walmart, for example. I go to Walmart sometimes for my groceries, the owner of Sam's Club. And I have had multiple times where I go into Walmart for my groceries and I have seen spoiled or bad looking produce, or there's displays that are completely empty because maybe they just didn't have time to put it out, maybe they didn't get their shipment yet of whatever. But that just happens with fresh food. Sometimes you go and it's moldy. I can't even tell you how many times I've had to pick through so many different strawberries to find one that didn't have mold in it, or I've had to go to multiple grocery stores just to be able to get what I wanted, which is a luxury. The fact that I can stop at multiple grocery stores to find everything I want is more of a luxury than it is an inconvenience. Obviously, would I like to be able to get everything done at my first stop? Yeah, who wouldn't? But sometimes that's just not how it is. Sometimes you go to one store, the vegetables are a little bit picked over, maybe the fruit does have some mold, so you go to a different one. That in itself is a luxury that a lot of places, especially more rural areas, do not have. And I just don't believe that Miss small town girl here who is from Minnesota, lived in Texas, like she's lived in multiple different places. I do not believe that it's the first time that she's experienced some mold on produce in a grocery store. There's just no way in hell that that is the first time she's experienced this at her big age. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then to imply that anyone calling her out has to be an advocate, when it's like, advocate for what? No one else had an issue with the store, and that is the point. She's the one who thought that the store was ridiculously understocked and terrible. Everyone else was like, this is a normal grocery store. This is how us normal folks live. This is what is normal for majority of the people watching your content, and here you are acting like a brat as if it's not good enough for you. Like, roll out the red carpet, Catherine's coming to the grocery store. And it was pretty well stocked, especially considering, again, for the 50th time I'm mentioning it, it was 4th of July weekend, a major holiday weekend, and it was pretty well stocked. The store looked great. Her attitude she came off like a total snob in the video, and I'm not saying that's who she is as a person. I don't know Catherine at all. And from what I've seen of her past content, it really didn't seem like who she was as a person. But the fact of the matter is, she made a tone-deaf video, she came off like a brat, and that's it. That's the issue.
That I have a brother who's vegan, and that was my number one stressor when I walked in that grocery store. All he eats is fruits and vegetables. And I bought him goldfish and popcorn because those are his favorite snacks, and that was primarily what he ate through the weekend, was like more snacky foods.
Your vegan brother, and all he ate were goldfish 100% real cheese, which it says right on the front of the package that she looked at. So they can't read either. You literally cannot make this up. My brother, who's a vegan, had to eat goldfish because they didn't have any produce. You filled your cart half with produce and there was more there. If your brother's vegan and doesn't eat sweet potatoes, bananas, snap peas, cherries, watermelon, any of the stuff that was in your cart, then I don't know what the hell he's gonna eat. And you're telling me they didn't have any tofu, they didn't have any beans, they didn't have any single other option, so he had to eat 100% real cheddar goldfish, which are obviously not vegan. And when she grabbed it, she literally said, these are for the 4-year-olds. For my 4-year-olds. I think that this is just her backpedaling and trying to find more excuses that justify her reaction when there wasn't one. There simply wasn't one. She just thought that this was going to be so funny and that people would agree with her in the video. She didn't once mention, oh, my brother's vegan, like there's not that many vegan options here, I don't know what I'm going to get for him. Also, just call him and say, hey, this is what they have, what do you want? It's not that hard.
So being a big sister in that moment, like I was just stressed and I felt so horrible that, again, everything that I planned was going wrong. And now I was like, oh shit, now I have someone in my household that can't eat. But reflecting and like seeing it through the lens of people who are like, I always have people in my household that can't eat. I know how bad that looks. And it truly was not my intention. And
what I hate about apologies like this is you're not responding to what people really had an issue with. That it is very tone deaf, that there are many people who are struggling to feed their families, and you're here bitching and moaning about the grocery store. Like, yes, that is obviously tone deaf, and she's kind of starting to address that. But we're 3 minutes and 23 seconds into a 4-minute video, and all it's been so far is excuses and reasons and how she had stressors of the day and how her brother's vegan, so she didn't know what to feed him. Mind you, again, her cart was full of produce and there was more left on the shelf. She could have got him some more of that.
I'm very sorry. So I am appreciative of those who gave me grace and who also have understood, like, I'm a human being and we all make mistakes. I've always preached that, but I'm also someone who's always preached accountability and the principle. So here I am. I would like to move forward. I have taken my time off to just enjoy with my family while they were here. And I just am ready to keep growing with you guys, without you guys. If you want to be here, you're welcome to be here. If you don't want to be here, that's totally understandable. But just know from the bottom of my heart, I truly am sorry. So, love you so much.
Okay, again, so the end of it. I'm sorry, but thank you to those who gave me grace, and thank you because we all make mistakes. It just comes off so disingenuous, and again just reads as, I'm more annoyed that I have to address this, but I'm going to because I built my platform on the principle, which she does always preach about the principle, almost to an annoying extent. The apology felt more like, sorry, but I'm ready to move on. So whether you want to be here or not, whatever, but I'm good with this. I just want to move on now.
I am very sorry. So here I am. I would like to move forward.
She seemed more annoyed than sorry, in my opinion. The comments heavily agreed with that. They were not loving any of this, so I'm just going to read some of these here now. So the first comment here that I see, someone says, accountability is not bullying. Use my code SIMULATION for 10% off your next Sam's Club order. Sorry, did you just say the people calling you out should have used the moment to advocate for fresh produce and said, this is wild? I feel like this is a lot of excuses. This isn't an apology, it's an explanation. It's the principle for everyone else, and someone said retweet. Someone commented, goldfish aren't vegan, and she replies, he's gonna flip finding this out. Do you people not read? Like, you're all worried about bleached eggs and your food not being organic, but you're not even reading what the heck is in your snacks, and he can't see the 100% real cheese on the front of the package. Going on about like bullying in the middle, yes, there were some rude comments about her looks, and like I said, I 100% do not condone that at all. There is no need to go low like that. She's already messed up, and there was already something to talk about without any of that type of criticism. But people are not bullying for standing on the principle and for wanting accountability. She didn't really address like what people took issue with, like the claims that there was no produce but filling her cart up, claiming there was no beef hot dogs, yet they were right in front of her. She didn't mention once in the video that it was busy, which she claimed after was the issue. I just think she's grasping at straws to like justify her actions and what she said. So yeah, that was the video and the apology. She did post back to her regular content already, so clearly she is just ready to move right on. And someone did comment saying back to regular scheduled programming, and she's like, what is your wish for me to do? So this is crazy. I think she deleted their comment. Maybe they deleted it. I don't know. I'm not saying she deleted it, but she posted back to her regular content. She's clearly very ready to move on. And someone commented saying, I saw this, but I guess I didn't screenshot it. I thought I did. But they had replied a big, huge paragraph about how she mentioned food insecurity and how she could do XYZ to advocate and to raise awareness and all this stuff. That big paragraph is gone now, but they definitely kind of ate her up with that one. I'm so upset that I didn't screenshot it, so you'll just have to take my word that it was there, and now it is not there. But that is the situation. I think overall this just rubbed myself and so many others the wrong way, mainly because so many people are struggling to put food on the table, and in strolls an influencer bitching and moaning about the disgusting poor people grocery store with no food, only to fill a cart with more food than most people could reasonably afford to get these days. Like where I live, that was at least a $500 cart, possibly even more, and her acting like going to the store was the craziest thing that's ever happened, that she's in a simulation as if it's not just most people's day-to-day life. Like, welcome to how the majority of us live. She didn't even consider how this video would be taken, and she left it up for way too long for my liking. I truly just don't think that she really even cares. But yeah, that is just what I think. I want to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment down below. Do you think the video was tone deaf? Did it rub you the wrong way? And with all that being said, I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.